What's up, everyone? This is gonna be a video for my first ever Q&A. I know I put it off. I was gonna do it last week, and then or sometime last week, and then this weekend, but I just got enough questions. As people sent them in. So for those of you who sent in these questions, I appreciate it, and I'm just gonna get right to it. So let's see. Q&A. Okay, the first question is from Gore492. Who do you think is the most underrated superstar as of right now? It's a good question. I think there's a lot of guys both on Raw and SmackDown who could be used a hell of a lot better. I think, a lot of people can agree on that. Um, I'd have to say most underrated. I mean, you can put, I guess maybe one of them you could put John Morrison up there as far as, in the eyes of WWE, like the creative team, and I guess they don't. I don't know why they don't see him as championship caliber. So I think that's. I mean, I think he's one of the most underrated guys, and he's just he's an amazing athlete, and I think Ted DiBiase too. I'm a big fan of him. I mean, he hasn't won a match in I think a couple months, but I guess he's on just got moved to SmackDown. If you saw SmackDown Friday, he came out with Maurice for a match against Rey Mysterio, which he lost. But I think he's very underrated. I mean, and another guy is Zack Ryder. Like WWE needs to take advantage of these young guys before they jump ship. I mean, they could do so much, especially with DiBiase on SmackDown now. I feel like that's a it's a good chance for him to go after the Intercontinental title or something. Like I'd like to see a feud between him and Kofi. But yeah, I think Ted DiBiase is and Zack Ryder, very underrated. And like I said, John Morrison. I don't know if he's underrated. I mean, everyone knows how good he is, but for some reason, Vince, I don't know what his problem with him is. But those are kind of just my guys. So I think should be elevated a little more, underrated. Um, then next question is Hito2415. Do you think Dolph Ziggler will win the WWE title in 2011? I hope so. I'd like to see that. He's on Raw now. I thought if he was going to win a world title, it'd be on SmackDown, which I don't even consider him getting awarded the world title for about, and him being champion for about 2 minutes or something count. That's just ridiculous. And oh, God, and I'm sorry. Back to the underrated question. I want to say Wade Barrett too. Probably one of the most underrated guys. Um, in the business. So I'm sorry about that, but yeah, Dolph Ziggler winning the title. I'd love to see John Morrison win it sometime this year, and then he and Dolph Ziggler feud. I think that'd be a great feud. I just oh man, um, I if this question was, do you think Dolph Ziggler won the world title? I'd probably, if he was still on SmackDown, I'd say almost 100% yeah, but I don't know, just Raw. A lot of these young guys get buried, but I mean, I guess Miz is the exception. It's going on 6 months as strong as champion. So, but it's still early in 2011. So, I can see. I actually can see him winning the title. He may not have a long reign, but I could see him winning the championship. But I don't think it would be until like the end of the year or something. Maybe end of summer. So because I think John Morrison would have is going to have the title before he does. So, but yeah, I see Ziggler winning the title. If not, I see him winning it late this year. If not, very beginning of next year. So, question number 3 is from PageFan424. What is your favorite theme song of all time? That's a really good question. I have so many favorites. Oh man, one of my favorites. I love Triple H's old theme, "My Time." When he used to come out with China, I thought that was just one of my favorites. I thought it fit him perfectly for that time because it was his time. He was up and coming, making a name for himself. But I'd say my favorite. Uh, I love Stone Cold's heel theme by Disturbed. I just thought that, I mean, that fit him absolutely perfectly for that heel he was playing. kind of like that psychotic, just yeah, bionic redneck heel. Um, then during like the alliance thing and the invasion angle, I thought that was just such a kick-ass theme, and I still listen to it every now and then. It's just such a good pump-up song. But yeah, I'd probably say that's my favorite theme. Glass Shatters by Disturbed for Stone Cold. Um, so yeah, next question, Lethal Macho. Um, Oh, and by the way, I also like The Rock's heel theme when he came back in like '03 and feuded with Goldberg, Austin and Goldberg. I like that one too. Lethal Macho, what are your thoughts on the NFL lockout? Will there be football in 2011 or 2012? It's another good question. I mean, I'd like to say yeah, there'd be football this year, but as of right now, obviously we're in the lockout already. But I just don't see it. I mean, the owners are just a bunch of greedy bastards, and I'm pretty sure they're still getting paid throughout all this. So basically, just taking free money. It sucks. I mean, football is obviously the sport America loves most now. It's surpassed baseball as like uh, I wouldn't say America's pastime because baseball will always be America's pastime, but football is definitely the most popular sport in the country right now. It's pro football. So, and as of for next year, 2012, I hope no, hopefully if there is no football this year, hopefully they can get it settled quickly, and so there will be a season next year. Because one season of no football is I wouldn't be able to take, but two would just be I don't know what I would watch. I mean, I don't have a favorite college football team, so I wouldn't be able to really watch that. So, uh, yeah, I hope there's football somehow this year, but we'll see. Um, and this is another one from Lethal Macho. What is your favorite NBA team or teams, and who's going to win the championship this year? Um, well, my favorite team is Boston Celtics, and I mean, obviously, I see them. Them trading Perk and Nate Robinson was big, more so because of Perk. He was our big man, our center. But I mean, our new additions look like they're finally gelling in the system, like Jeff Green and Chris Stitch and whatnot. And we just signed like Carlos Arroyo and Sasha Pavlovich. Um, so I think we can make a run. I think we have one more run in us, and you know, Pierce, Ray, and KG are playing pretty well. And Rondo's been struggling lately. With the whole team, I mean, we've lost like uh, we're 9-5 since trading Perk. So I don't know. But I think as far as who's going to win the championship, I mean, not to be biased or anything, but I mean, I'm pretty confident in the Celtics. I'm pretty confident we could win the championship this year. The West. I don't think the Lakers are going to make the finals. There, I see a Celtics Spurs final, to be honest. But I see us winning the championship. I just think when it comes playoff time, we showed everyone last year we struggled through the second half of the season, but when we got to the playoffs, we beat um, we beat the Magic, beat the Cavs, or we beat no who we beat the Heat, the Cavs knocked LeBron out, basically forced him to quit on his team, beat the Magic, and then if we had Perk won that Game 7 NBA Finals, we would have won. We would have won that game. I'm telling you right now. We were up by 13 at one point in the second half. We let it get away. Perk played, have someone match up against Gasol and bind him. We would have won that, in my opinion. So I see the Celtics winning their 18th banner this year. That's just my opinion. So then, obviously, I'm gonna be biased. So yeah. So I see the Celtics winning the championship, and if not, I'll go for the Bulls because I really like Derrick Rose and that whole young team. I think they can do some big things. And the last question from Lethal Macho: which superstars in TNA and WWE do you see leaving or getting fired? Another good question. Um, man. Well, man. Well, as you've seen so on Raw recently, all the Nexus basically has just been broken up. Unfortunately. sent back to FCW. But that they didn't get released, but I see, after they're just getting more experience, I guess. But I just see after WrestleMania, usually a lot of releases happen, and I'm hoping, it's not some of these young guys who they didn't even get a chance and given to them, and they just get, tossed to the curb. But I see, honestly, uh, I could see, like Zack Ryder getting released, just because WWE they don't do anything with him. And I mean, if you've seen his stuff on YouTube on his channel, it's funny. He's funny as hell, and he has a lot of charisma. And yeah, just I could just see them, parting ways with him because they're like, what are we going to use him for? God forbid we could give him a shot at the U.S. title or move him over to SmackDown, give him a shot at the Intercontinental title. I could see like Yoshitatsu being released as well. Tyson Kidd, uh, Davey Boy Smith or David Art Smith. I don't know if he's even sold the company. I haven't seen him in God knows how long. Just all those guys, and I hope not Chris Masters because I heard he was supposed to be getting a push sometime soon. He's won a few matches on Superstars. He just lost to Jack Swagger on SmackDown, but I think he deserves a push for the IC title. Um, yeah, uh, but I feel like Zack Ryder, Yoshitatsu, Tyson Kidd. I feel like those are the guys in WWE that would be released, and I pray to God Ted DiBiase would not be one of them. Because yeah, he's obviously lost a lot lately and hasn't really had much going for him. But I think he deserves a lot better, and they could find something for him, like a feud or something. Uh, and as far as TNA, I don't really watch TNA a lot, especially now since it just looks like such a shit company, and with that whole Jeff Hardy mess that they had a couple weeks ago, I don't know. I just don't see that company going in the right direction, and I I would love to see Kurt Angle leave TNA and come back. I've heard there's some rumors here and there that he may leave TNA later this year once his contract's up and come back to WWE. I think he should. I think he should finish his career with WWE. I know the work. He likes TNA because of the workload. It's a lot easier than it was in WWE. But I mean, come on, man. WWE made you who you are. If you just went to TNA, no one would know who the fuck you were. Like obviously Olympic gold medalist, but I mean, he's gonna be in the WWE Hall of Fame one day. I hope so. Even though he's in TNA, Vince. I mean, you better fucking take notice of that. I was Grand Slam champion, won King of the Ring in 2000. Uh, yeah, I'd love to see Kurt Angle back in WWE. What other stars in TNA? So I mean, I can't really say as much for TNA because I don't watch it regularly, like Impact. But I'd love to see Kurt Angle, just bounce up out of there, and uh, I guess I could see some of the younger guys and maybe some of the older guys in TNA just getting fired, like Scott Steiner or Sting's our champion now. So, by the way, he just turned 52 yesterday. So, I mean, Jesus. Uh, so yeah, I can't really say much for TNA, but WWE I see like Yoshitatsu, Zack Ryder, and Tyson Kidd. Which all those guys, even Yoshi, I mean, they're all talented, but WWE just, I don't know. They just don't know what to do with these. They just don't know what to do when they have a lot of talent. Um, all right, guys. I'm gonna do a part two of this video, so I don't have to rush things. So stick around for part two. Be right back.